and welcome to our Nature Through the Year workbook, as accompanied by my brand new kitten, who apparently is very interested in seeing what's inside. So let's not disappoint him, and I will show you what's inside. So this is our brand new Nature Through the Year workbook. It is different to our nature curriculum that you may have already seen, as it works through a whole 12-month span and is broken down month by month and has different themes as well and different information inside. So it is a different workbook. So this is Nature Through the Year. This is the printed book from Amazon, but you can also buy the PDF directly from our website, Chatty Zebra Curriculum. So let's see what's inside. So each month has its own dedicated topic. So as you can see, January is icy weather, and then you have lichen, birds, frogs, plants, insects, seaside, sunflowers, seeds, trees, fungi, and moon cycles. And then each month has a similar layout, like the way you'd work through it, but all based around different topics. So there's also suggested ideas. Again, these are just ideas of how you might want to use the workbook, but it is adaptable and flexible to meet your own needs. So please feel free to use it how best suits you and your family, not how we suggest it, because this is just how we find works well for us, but that doesn't mean that it has to work well like that for you. So we have the weather tracker. So the idea is each day you colour in one rectangle to illustrate the weather for the day. So for example, on wet weathers you might do blue, and on sunny weathers you might do yellow. On really hot days you might do red, and then at the end of the year you've got a visual diary of what the weather was for the year. And then you have the phenology wheel, where you would go out and observe something in nature and then draw something that reminds you of that month. So for example, January you might see snow if you're lucky, and then you might draw snow in here. And then there's worksheets for each month to accompany this, which I'll show you in a minute. So each month has its own colouring page, and then we have a poem, and you can decorate this page, you could learn the poem, you could copy out the poem. As you might know, this is inspired by Charlotte Mason ideas. I tend to use her ideas quite a lot in our own homeschooling. I like the way she incorporates like poetry and art and music and handcrafts within education. I find with mine that works really well. So this has been inspired by her principles. So we come to the phenology observations. So you'd have questions to answer about your nature time, and then you could research something from that observation a bit further. So for example, if you found a particular flower or plant that you wanted to learn more about, you'd research and then record that there. And then there's a creative page. So these are the same each month. So you could write a poem or a story inspired by your time in nature. It's just a nice little creative activity to get people more in tune with their nature time, like paying more attention and thinking more deeply about it. And then we have a dedicated information topic page, which is a fact file. It varies in length depending on the month. So this one is on ice, and then you have a record page where they can record what they learn. There is a spotter's guide, so this month is on different types of clouds, and this one has the information as well, so you can learn about what the different clouds are and how to recognise them. And then throughout the month you can see if you can spot them, and when you do, you could tick them off and then write in when you saw them and how you recognised them, date it. And then you have a nature journal page which you can use whenever you want in the month, and it could be about the topic or it could be unrelated to the topic. It could be about your own specialist interests in nature that month. There is a craft page, there is a recipe page, and all the recipes are vegetarian, I should point that out, so they are okay for both meat eaters and vegetarians. There is also an art page. So this is like the art exposure, so you could print it off or photocopy it and put it on your wall for your whole family to see. It's all inspired by the topic of the month, and then there's a page to fill out, create your own artwork inspired by that. There is a piece of music inspired by the topic, and then there's a nature scrapbook. So you could take photos of your time in nature and stick them in. You could collect maybe like leaves and stick them in, or different bits that remind you of your time in nature, and use that page to record it. So as you can see, we then move on to February. So we got the February poem, we have the phenology pages, we have lichen information, we have the Lichen Spotter's Guide, and then the Lichen Nature Journal. There's the Nature Journal, the craft, the recipe, the art page, and the music page, and the Nature Scrapbook. So, as you can see, it is a consistent flow through the notebook, workbook, but it has different information and different topics to keep it fresh and exciting. This is on birds. Can't wait to do this with mine. I'm just wondering for our own learning whether we're going to use the same nature place each month, or whether to shake up a little bit and choose a different nature place to go to each month. Just add a bit of variety. So this is on frogs. This one is on plants. So we've got a bit of science in here as well. So this is introducing them to plant biology. And then there is a spotter's guide for plants that you might see in May. And then there's a design your own garden, which we're hoping to do ourselves. We're hoping to do a garden this year, like a vegetable garden. There's a bean growing observation with the diary. So you might want to do it each week, or you might want to just space it out. When you see something new, you might want to record that in your diary. It's left open-ended so that you can date it and use it how you best wish. Then we move into mini bugs, mini bees. It's always a fun one to do. So, mini bee spotter's guide, and then you have your journal, which you can tick off which ones you find. There's a butterfly growing observation diary, and the life cycle, craft of recipe, move into July with rock pooling. This has become quite a big thing in our family. Like, we tend to go every year now and see what we can find. So yeah, it's quite a fun way to start, well, not start the summer, but do in summer. It really feels like it's summer once we've been to the beach and explored a rock pool. Not going to lie, I'm looking forward to the summer now. And then we have sunflowers. So with the sunflower section, there is a sunflower growing journal. They do take several months, so double check for your area when you need to plant the sunflowers. So for this, we'll be filling out some of it in August, but also we may be starting a little bit of it earlier, like the diary and the planting, so that we can do it in time. They're ready to look at in August. And we have seeds. I'm looking at the seed anatomy and dispersal. Spotter's guide seeds. Then we go into trees. So then we're looking at the tree structure, as well as autumn leaves and why leaves change colour. And then looking at the different types of trees. This is something I really want to focus on with mine this year, is learning the different types of trees and how to recognise them. I just think it's quite an interesting knowledge to have, really. And then some leaf and bark rubbings for the crafts this month. Art again. All the music picked out for this is classical music. It's all that have been inspired by the themes. We've got to label the part of the mushrooms and looking at different mushrooms and learning different mushrooms and fungi. And then we have December, which is to do with the moon. Titch got a telescope for Christmas, so I have a feeling we may be doing this a little bit earlier than December. But looking at the different and learning the different moon phases, keeping a moon journal. Switch hands. Art. And then last but not least, we have the collector's guide and the certificate of achievement, which you can complete at the end of the year. So that is our whole year of nature. I'd love to know what you think and whether you would like another one next year as well with maybe different topics. I actually can't wait to get started on this with mine. I've been really looking forward to this one. And yeah, I'd love to know what you think about it and catch up with you soon. Thank you, bye.